Control N7. Hey, Montsho and Nwasha, check it out. I know in the beginning of relationship, when you are in your courting phase, a lot of people report to us that, oh man, we talk on the phone 6 days a week, sometimes for 4 and 5 hours. And we always ask, what are you talking about? Why is that important that we ask that? Because we have developed a belief that is against a whole lot of phone and social media conversing, right? So we basically saying, stay off the phone so much, especially in the courting phase. But in most phases, the quality of our relationship is about the time we spend together. And now you may be saying, but I'm a long distance relationship. We can relate to that. In our relationship, we did 6 months from New Jersey to Trenton, New Jersey to Miami, Florida. And so we can relate to being in long distance situations where the primary way we're going to connect is through text, call, whatever, FaceTiming, however. Still, I am saying that you want to limit the amount of time that you're spending on the phone. Now, for you people that can see each other every week, you definitely need to get off that jack and definitely do not need to be on that phone all hours, wee hours of the morning and all of those things. And the reason why is it gives you a false sense of knowing. So, Nwasha, you want to build on that?
I think we are taking frequency, maybe, or, the quantity as though it's quality. And when it comes to really being able to know someone and how they would interact or how they actually are, a lot of that has to happen in person and, like we say, in community. So whether that's, even if you don't know the people, but you and the person are going out into the world and you're shopping or driving or eating or any of the things that you could be doing, what you're really going to observe by the way that person treats other people, the way that person treats you out in the world, and then the way that that person gives you feedback to how you are in the world is completely different from how we rely right now on curated spaces. And I think this is, just the last couple of decades of using social media.
Yeah.
And I think it's made us where you have access to someone, and that could be a good thing. It's made us rely on curated elements. So, and it's also helped us rely on isolation. So as much as we want connection, we're often, when people say, I'm on the phone for 5 hours, and we're saying, what are you talking about? A lot of times they're like, I don't know. I don't remember.
They don't remember.
And then a lot of times I'm like, well, what are you doing while you're talking to them? And it's trivial things that you're like, I'm in the bed and what would have been maybe, I'm entertaining myself by scrolling or doing something like that. I'm now doing that with another person. And I think that it takes away aspects of, I'm looking forward to sharing this thing with this person at the end of the day or the end of the week or whatever it is. And I think that, people are often surprised, or relationships tend to be very, very intense in the beginning and then fizzle, because when you get with someone, it's not the curated content, or you get with someone and you don't like the feedback, or you say, now I really know you, as opposed to before when you could have been really getting to know someone based on values, based on beliefs, and then not just having the conversation about it, but seeing the demonstration of it in their life. And I think it's important for us to visit each other. And definitely have plans to do that, like to observe who we really are and how we know. I think we think falsely that we're communicating by saying, hey, what do you believe in? What are your values? Maybe when we're meeting someone, especially because of how far the reach can go. And you might be meeting someone electronically or through networking or different things that have you rely on the phone and social media. But what happens a lot of times is someone says, I believe in fill in the blank. And we say, okay. But we don't know if they actually believe it. And even if we believe that they believe it, we don't know the evidence until we're often already invested in relationship before we should be. So the purpose
Right.
of, really being able to vet someone is not just about frequency and how much I talk to them, how much they said something, they said all the right words. And we often say the best parts of ourselves. No, most people are not going to present, I'm having a challenge with this. When they first meet us or we first meet them, we're not going to do that because we're trying to present our best self. But what happens is when you can observe how congruent someone's actions are with their values and beliefs, you have more information to vet them.
Yeah,
It's not that anyone's a bad person per se, or that you might not even still be with them if you knew some things, but it's just more real as opposed to keeping the relationship solely in the curated, solely in the fantasy, and we're building a relationship in our mind that is not really there. And when we come together, we're like, it's not quite hitting like it was over the phone or through social media. A lot of that stuff is the best of the best, or even a perspective on the worst of the worst, instead of us being able to really exchange with a person and see them exchange with others too outside of us. So a relationship is more than just you. It's more than just the two of you. It really is a third thing when you come together. And that, I think, needs to be experienced, not necessarily on display out in the world. But the fact that we're not alone needs to be respected and understood as we relate and watch others relate, I think it's just something that's important, that we falsely think we're getting to know someone based on something that's curated, held back, a little bit contrived sometimes, and presentational, as opposed to even genuinely wanting to get to know someone and genuinely wanting to be curious and observe them.
Yeah, I think the message takeaway is, in order to know a person, you're going to have to experience them in their life, not on the phone with them, not just by scrolling their social media and seeing their Instagram or their Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, TikTok they're on. You're getting the when I'm on version of a person. You need to understand a person when they're not on. It is easier to turn on a device and project a person's personality than it is to see a person in their real neighborhood, in their real community, in their real interactions. And I think, especially for the intimate relationship, is very dangerous to try to build an intimate relationship without having intimate understanding of a person. And you can't do that by just talking to them. So we are advocates of spending more energy and time getting together, planning to do things. Even if you're long distance, it's better to get together once every couple of months and do some stuff together than it is to talk 5 and 6 and 7 times a week and wear out all your conversations. The final thought is that in relationship, when you've been together like we have for 23 years, you want to be able to bring new energy into your relationship all the time. The only way you can do that is to create new experiences together. I can't tell you my whole life and that be new for a long time. It can be new in the first couple of conversations, but then after that, we're not sharing anything new. So even if I go through something new and come back and share it with you, it's not the same, and that's a weak foundation to try to build a relationship on, an intimate relationship. So, we are really against that. We laugh often when people say that, because when you dig 2 or 3 levels deep, you will see it's nothing there. It's just talk. And you know what the axiom says: BS walks or talks. How does it go?
Do you know what the axiom says?
Oh no, it says money talks. That's what it says in BS walks. I'm lost. That's the wrong reference. Just excuse that. But as you can see, talking too much can hurt you.
And on that note,
if you want to develop a courting plan that is strategic and can get you so that you select vet and commit in a strong and systematic way where you're secure in your relationship and you're actually building a relationship and not talking about it, or just talking on the phone for 6 weeks and moving right to sex, and 6 weeks later the relationship's over, then holler at us. We got something for you in the conscious courting lane of how to build a relationship properly.
Akoma.
Akoma.